I'm Sarah LeGrove, Chair of Sifton's United Way Fundraising Committee, and we are proud to be ChangeMakers.
If you just want to start by how you got involved with the campaign, Sifton's involvement with United Way over the years.
Sure. So this has been my third year leading the United Way fundraising campaign for Sifton. And this was the year that we really made a lot of changes to the campaign. So again, being rewarded with something like the Innovator Award at the end of the campaign is really special for us. We realized that our staff only had so much capacity to give. There's only so many of them. And we understand that the need for the donating dollars to come into this organization continues to grow with the uncertainty of the economy that we're living in today. So we really wanted to think about how we could engage new donors and reach new people, greater awareness, I guess you could say, throughout the campaign while using our Sifton fundraising campaign. So we really looked at our different lines of business, how we could engage different clients and customers of Sifton, and really make it more of an external facing campaign for our customers and clients, not only internally for our staff as well.
Yeah. And how did employees and the community react to those changes?
The response we received from our employees as well as our clients, customers, and the community was amazing. Their generosity and what they're willing to step up and do when they really understand where the fundraising dollars are going and the need for those donated dollars to provide those services for the members of the London community. It's really amazing. It's really heartwarming to see. Their generosity is unbelievable. We also did some internal facing things where we received donations from small businesses and local businesses around the London community. I think we had over 30 businesses step up and make donations. Wheel of Fortune style game where employees would bid on spaces on the wheel to win a certain prize. And we raised a lot of money. We had a lot of fun, but more importantly, it was so amazing to see the generosity from the members of our community and those local businesses that stepped up to donate.
Yeah. What does being a change maker mean to you and to Sifton as a whole?
Well, I know I can speak for our committee altogether when we say that receiving this award is truly special. It's really an honor, but especially in the innovation category where we put so much thought and effort into how to really reach new donors and increase those fundraising dollars, this one's really special for us.
What would you say to someone else who was looking to get involved in United Way through their workplace or outside? How would you pitch United Way to them?
I would say that never underestimate your ability to make an impact. Just because you think you're one person doesn't mean you can't have a great impact. Even if you don't have the capacity to give yourself, doesn't mean you can't organize a fundraiser or help create awareness. No amount of awareness or fundraising is too big or too small. So never underestimate your ability yourself to make an impact.
What's next for you guys at Sifton?
So when I think of what's next for us as a company and supporting the United Way, there's really no stopping us now. We had a record-breaking year. We've been supporting the United Way for over 35 years. I believe we've raised over $1 million, partially from our employees and of course matched by the Sifton Family Foundation. We couldn't do it without them as well. So there's no stopping us now. Right now, we're already strategizing for next year. We're putting plans in place and we are excited to continue to work with the United Way, not only now, but in the future. So when we sat down as a committee and really wanted to look at what's been working and what hasn't been working with our campaign over a number of years, we first started looking at our committee structure. The first thing we changed was opening it up to volunteers only. Then we took a look at our fundraising activities and our employees' capacity to give, given the economy and the state of the world that we're living in today. We have a few hundred employees, quite a few, but if we wanted to increase fundraising dollars, we knew we had to look externally as well. We really had to think outside of the box. We had to think, how are we going to change the way we reach people? How do we create awareness? And what types of things can we do to tap on the shoulders of new donors that maybe aren't aware of what the United Way does through our reach as Sifton as a company? So we looked at our lines of business. We looked at retirement residents, for example. We engaged their teams and we did things like bingo nights and movie nights where their residents got to engage in a fun and exciting activity while raising fundraising dollars, adding that fundraising component to those events. When we looked at our residential buildings, we did a bottle drive. We gave them that opportunity to raise money and be engaged in their community. When we looked at our commercial tenants, we did a raffle for a round of golf. So we really tried to see what they could give and how they would want to be engaged in the United Way as well. So overall, I think it was a big success. We really tried to take the United Way's motto of when you stand united, you don't stand alone. And I think that we were successful in achieving that. So my advice to any company who's looking to change, to either start a campaign, change a campaign, anything like that, is trust your instincts and don't be afraid of change. We made a lot of changes this year. Some worked, a few things didn't work. So it's also okay to, maybe fumble along the way. Not everything's going to go your way, but more likely things will work than not work. Also trust the team at the United Way.
What is the most rewarding part of your community work?
Well, definitely the most rewarding part of doing work such as this is seeing the good side of people, seeing their generosity, seeing that when they hear the messages of what the United Way does and the services that they fund, that they're really willing to give and they're really willing to listen. So again, in such a difficult time that we're living in today, seeing the good side in people is really rewarding.
What is something that you have learned about our community since being a champion?
Well, again, not being originally from London, it never ceases to amaze me the generosity of this community that we live in, not only from our community members, from our local businesses. Again, when everyone hears the need for these services, I believe that you funded over 39 services, over 100,000 people at least last year, meaning every single one of us probably either has used a United Way service or knows someone who does. It's so amazing to see how much the community will come together and really support this great cause. And that's been one of the best parts.